Okay, here we are in December, and there's not been much progress with the old Norley for a while because I've been so busy, and to be honest it's cold and I don't have much room to work. There's a wall and there's a bike and it can't move. This is where it is. But what I can do is do small jobs which won't take too long. And one job I want to do is to do something about this one-off glossy stack that I've got here. I've just started to undo these bolts. It's all a bit fiddly because you can't undo them all the way and the thing won't come off. So I'm just going to have to do one little bit at a time, hopefully not drop anything. And when it's off the bike, there's one. I'll be able to tell you what I intend to do today with this, as I say, one-off machine from billet glossy stack. And there it is, little ball there to protect the card. Put that in there to make sure no, I don't know, spiders and whatever can get in there. And let's take that inside and we'll see what I'm going to do with this today. Okay, and now here we are indoors, and here it is. And this was machined from one piece of solid billet about 5 years ago when we put the bike together for the first time. And one thing I wanted to do with this is to add some kind of rudimentary filtration to it. I mean, you can't do much, but at least I can add some kind of filter to the outside of this thing. Something like, in fact, I've got on my Ducati. That is something like this, a sort of fine mesh grill to go on the outside of that glossy stack. So to do that, we've got to do two things. And the first of those is to find some suitable mesh to go on the outside of this stack. Ideally in stainless steel, that would be great, and of this right sort of size. And I think I know where I can get some of that for free, so that's what I'll be doing later on today. And the second thing is to find a way of holding it in place. And to do that, what we'll need to do is to make a ring to go around the outside of here with a lip on it, so it's a tight fit on top of this, which in turn will clamp the mesh into place. And also I can maybe use some glue or some resin around the outside here just to make sure it's nice and secure. And so that's what we're going to do today. And now here we are at the workshop, and a bit of work's been done. We found this stainless steel mesh. I thought we had that because it's some leftover from when we made something similar for Tim's bike on his XL 1250 Sportster, which you can look at on another video. We've also made this little ring recess. I think it's made from 6mm because it needs to go over here and cover everything. You see that? It's covered up the mesh. Next thing to do is to glue this in place. I need to use some resin or some strong bonding agent, maybe some, I'm not sure what, but I'm sure we can find something. Glue it down nice and secure, and I can polish this. I did have a wonder whether I should be it painted or anodized or something, a different colour, but I think I'll just leave it like this. Also, because this flange is quite wide, I also wondered whether I should machine a groove in it or drill some holes in it or something, but I think sometimes you can gill the lily a little bit, so I think we'll leave it like that, just polish it and leave this as a satin finish, and it should look okay, and at least it'll stop the odd stone or bumblebee or whatever falling down here. So yeah, next up then is to glue this down and then polish this ring. Okay, so now here we are back home again, and as you can see, I finished polishing this retaining ring. Now before I finally glue it into place, I still want to do a bit more work on this flange ring here because I'm not quite happy with it just yet. And the reason is because I think it's a bit too thick and a bit too angular for the style of the engine it's going on. And so what I want to do next is to make it a bit thinner, machine off maybe a mil or two off the edge, and also round off this sharp edge here, as I say, to make it suit the engine a bit better. And so that's what's next. And now here we are, back from a trip to the workshop, and as you can see, this little ring has been reduced in size on the outside edge by about 1.5 mm, and it's had a little bevel put in at the edge as well, just to make it look a little bit narrower. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. Not a massive change, but I think it does look a bit better and will suit the bike, or rather the engine, a lot better. So there you go, it's pretty much done now, except of course, I need to glue it down with some adhesive, and I've been recommended to use this stuff. It's called Q-Bond. Quick bonding, where are we? Ultra strong adhesive. This is kind of like super glue, but even stronger apparently. And I've been warned, don't get it on your fingers because you'll lose your skin. So this is what I'm going to use next, and hopefully it'll work. This is what was recommended to me by Tim at the bike shop, and he's used it for exactly the same function as this. He's glued his retaining ring on his similar velocity stack in the same way, and it's not fell off yet, so all being well, this will stay on forever. So that's what's next, and then it can go back on the bike. Okay, now here it is. Now I think Bonnie's not too impressed with it because he can't eat it, but this looks pretty damn solid to me, so I think this can now go back on the bike at last. And so that's what's next. Isn't it, Bonnie, eh? Yes. And here it is back on the bike once again. Now it's quite tricky for me to film because the wall is right here and I can't get the camera in to show you, but I think you can see roughly how it looks, and it's not much of a change, not much of a project there. But I'm glad it's done because I wanted to give it some sort of protection from stones and bumblebees and cats and dogs and God knows what else that might get in there when the bike's been ridden. So I'm pretty glad that that's been done. Now in fact, that's probably the only change I can make to the bike before the new year, because I'm really busy at the moment and there's just no more time. But I have been promised the paintwork back by the end of January, and so between then and now I want to get the rest of the bike done, all the electrics sorted out, a few little niggles and things fixed, and hopefully by the end of January, by my birthday, it'll be running. So anyway, that's the plan, and we'll see how we get on. So thanks for watching, and cheers.